The United States national debt just passed $20 trillion last September. Outgoing Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen has warned that this is the type of thing that should be keeping people awake at night. Other economists may tell you that the nation hasn't been debt-free since 1835 and say that it isn't really a problem as long as America's economy is growing, but this overlooks some fundamental realities. In truth, the national debt may be America's greatest national security threat. The gross domestic product of the United States is currently $19 trillion. But since the nation has $20 trillion in debt, America actually owes more than it makes in a year. In fact, the current debt to GDP ratio is higher than it has been at any point since the end of World War II. During World War II, however, the United States government was going into debt paying for a war that was eventually going to end. Today, the government is going into debt paying for retirement programs and healthcare programs that are expected to get more expensive. According to the Congressional Budget Office, the debt is expected to soar to an unfathomable $92 trillion within the next 30 years. And within the next 10 years, America could be paying $800 billion a year on interest payments alone. Financial historian Niall Ferguson has warned that nations and empires usually fall apart when the cost of servicing their debt exceeds the cost of defending their borders. Based on current budget projections, America could be spending more on interest payments than on national defense within 5 years. And if the interest rates on U.S. Treasury bonds increase, America could reach that point much, much sooner. In ancient times, God instructed the Israelites that blessings come from obedience to His laws, just like curses come for disobedience. In Deuteronomy 28, He specifically linked debt problems as one of the many curses associated with disobedience. Specifically, He said that Israel would borrow money from other nations, but would not lend money to other peoples. America's current economic problems are not actually the cause of its problems. Instead, they're one of the many symptoms of a bigger problem, and that problem is rebellion against God's law. To learn more about the dangers of out-of-control government spending, request our free reprint article, The Biggest Threat to America's National Security by Joel Hilliker.